Well, hello, Felicity and others. Got your plan open here. And first thing, since I'm going to be working on roofs, I want all the roofs that may or may not have something to do with the problem on the floor where the problem is. And the problem is actually, let's see, let me see if walls, attic are on. No, they're off. The walls, attic's very important because the walls, attic is what's missing. Okay, there's your attic walls. Let's take a look at just the attic walls in a dollhouse view. I'm in the attic. Okay, and there's just two. There's some apparently a lot of walls there. Let me change to a this kind of camera. Okay, so that's the only attic walls that are showing in the attic. Let's go down one floor. This seems to be the area where your walls are missing. And I forget, either here or here or here or here. You can see some of these automatically generated walls are exterior, some are not. And I don't think there's much to see on the first floor, but we'll go there. This is an excellent way, by the way, this dollhouse camera to figure out what's going on with the model. That's the reason I'm doing it. So I can see what's there and what's not there. Okay. Let's take an overview. And so we've got a wall, I think. Let me change the other camera. It's a little bit easier for me to see where the holes are with this kind of camera. Okay, that wall there. See, I just left clicked on it and you can see the wall polyline selected. I'm going to open that for specification, and I'm going to go to the materials tab. I could either change the wall type. I guess, okay, it says siding thin, but apparently the sheetrock, let me show you. The sheetrock is showing this layer here. I just left clicked on that to select it. Okay, it's plasterboard. And what's not showing is the tan siding. So what's wrong with that then is here in the edit toolbar, you don't see the word edit on it if it's docked down here, but that's what it is. The edit toolbar appears whenever you select something. There's a command here that says reverse layers. That's probably all that's wrong with that. No, there's something else wrong. Because I reversed the layers, but the material isn't showing up properly. There's something goofy about this wall. I know this wasn't specifically what you asked about, but I'm just looking for out points, and then I'm going to handle the out points. Okay, let's look at the materials tab of this wall. Maybe there's something. There it is. Maybe I don't know, maybe you wanted this material up there, and that's why it's here in the materials tab. What I'm going to do to get rid of it, I would think that you would have siding all the way up. I'm going to click on plan material and go to the top. There we go. Use default. Click OK. The default for that wall type, of course, is the home material. So you're getting more for your money. And I don't know if you even considered that a problem, but I kind of did. Now, this roof edge here isn't, you can see that this roof edge right there looks like it's chopping into the wall a little bit. I want to move that back just a shade. I'm not worried about virtual rain. I'm going to click on it again and move it away from the corner just a little bit. Just to, so you don't live in this house, so you don't worry about virtual rain, but roof plane edges do tend to cut off walls. Okay. Over here, I consider this a bit of an out point. You ought to have the same material here as here. We'll click on that. That gets the room dialog box. I'm going to hit the tab key to get the wall polyline. It looks like for some reason it's growing upstairs. Let me see if you did that on purpose or if it's an accident. I should be able to find that out on the structure tab. Right here it says default wall type and wall bottom height. They're grayed out, so you haven't altered that. Excuse me. But I think I will. I'm going to grab this wall polyline and just pull it down below the roof line so it doesn't show. Now, of course, that leaves a hole. I'm going to click on the attic wall, hit the tab key to get the wall polyline of the attic wall. And then I'm not concerning myself with the inside of your model. You may have to do some stuff after you get it back, but I'm going to put a break in the line here so I can extrude this down. And so, well, okay, it's showing that got to make up your mind whether where you're going to show this plasterboard stuff and where you're going to show siding. My choice would be to have this be plasterboard. So sorry for getting more for your money's worth here, but I just architecturally I think that should be the same material. So what I'm going to do is Control Tab, that's Control and then Tab back to Plan. I'm going to find that wall. See, there's my camera viewpoint, so it's over here somewhere. It's obviously not in the attic. I think it must be this wall here. And what kind of wall is that? That's siding thin. Let me turn on the reference display to further orient myself. I'm going to go down to the first floor, back to the second, so I can see the first floor walls. There's my camera viewpoint. That must be that area right there, and I'm hitting Control Tab to flip back and forth, by the way. Trying to figure out where that wall is. Oh, okay, I'm looking around. It's over here. So let's take a look. I think this is the wall right here. And it shows siding facing this side, and there's side. Okay. What I'm going to do is use the wall break tool and break that wall off. And just this wall here, I'm going to change it to that plasterboard stuff. I assume it's just an interior wall. I don't remember. I mean, I don't know where you're playing well enough. You got plasterboard on there. So this part of the wall up there will show siding, and this part will show the material I want. Well, or so I thought. Okay. I don't know. I must not have held my mouse right, but I wanted to break this part of the wall off so it's separate from this over here. That's weird. Okay, it must be on the Materials tab. Yep, there it is. We'll go over here. Again, that same action. I'm going to go over here. See, a custom material has been impressed upon this wall, and I'm going to set it back to its default by using the use default command, and then I'll return it to this plasterboard material. Okay. It's not perfect. There's a little bit of a line there. I'm not going to pursue that. I could pursue it, but that's not what this tutorial is about. I am going to alter this polyline. I'm going to hit the Control key and just move straight up a little bit so it fills that hole there a little bit better. There's a line there. Well, I may not be able to get rid of that line. I think for all practical purposes, that's a bit better. Okay, I'm going to rotate around the model. This is okay when you got the same reveal on the materials. Now that I'm not real crazy. Well, same sort of thing. Well, I'm going to skip that. You saw how to do that if you want to do it yourself. I'm looking for those missing walls now. Ah, there's one. Okay. And I think, whoops. So there ought to be one on this side. Yeah, there's kind of sort of one missing here. Looks like we got some sort of an attic wall there. I don't know if we need it or not. I'm going to go back to Plan, Control Tab, and take a look from the inside. Whoops. And turn the reference display off. I'm trying to get a little bit better understanding of what's. Well, there's not a lot of, you don't have a lot of detail in this plan, so it's hard to tell what's intended. I was going to take an interior camera view, but you got an open wall here, and I just don't know what your plans are in this area. Or if it's just, let me take a dollhouse view. Maybe it looks like there's a second floor, but maybe there isn't. Okay, that's not a second floor. That's just attic space. Okay. This is the clear story area from the first floor, and apparently there's no second floor. I told you I was a little bit foggy on exactly what your intentions are for the building itself. Let me fill the whole thing. Okay. And go back to the camera view. Okay, that's right along in there. Where is that in the plans? Kind of linear with this first floor thing. Okay. I turn the reference back on. So that's right about there. I turn the reference display off. That was just to help me kind of figure out where I needed to go. We got a siding wall facing this way. Okay, this roof plane's okay. I'm going to leave that where it is. I'm going to go down one floor and see where the roof, see what the next usual cause. I think I told you I clicked on these edges to make sure that they weren't intruding into this wall, and they're not. See, where's that wall? Okay, it looks like you went around that. You manually went around that corner there. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not yet. But this, there ought to be a wall here. We have this wall here. See, there's the wall polyline for that wall, and I bet you it's an attic wall. By that I mean, you go to the General tab. Automatically generated attic walls will have no room to find checked, no locate, and attic wall. And end users don't commonly do that manually, so you can pretty much figure if these three things are checked, then the software created the wall, because the software, based on its routines, it doesn't have intelligence, by the way. It only has routines in if, and, or, but it has no judgment. Okay, so this is kind of a point to help me locate where this perpendicular wall should be. I'm going to cancel out of that. Go back to plan. So I would assume if I go up to the attic, that should be the wall right there. I think so. Let me turn on the, no, these are the attic walls right over, this wall right here. The one I worked on earlier, that's this wall. This is how you figure this out. Okay, so it's not that wall that I can see. It's up here. So this would be in the A level, I reckon. Okay, and there it is. This wall here, let me tile the screens here. I'm going to hit Shift F6. Okay. So we're talking about, I think this wall here, let me, I'll delete it. Just delete that one. Okay, I'm going to hit F12 and see if it won't build it back. All right. So we have this wall here. I'm just going to drag that one over. And we should see it. Yeah, there it is. Now that's on the next floor down. You can see it's in red there because we're on the attic level. Let's see, I need to click on this screen and go down one floor. So that's that wall I just made there. And I think this is an attic wall here. Yeah, see those three check boxes? And that's probably this wall here. I can't see this relative to the roof. So I'm going to move the roofs. I'm going to go down one floor and move this roof plane, this one here, that's this one here, up one floor. See this little command here, display on the floor above? It doesn't change the roof plane in terms of the z-axis or how high it is in the model. It just changes, that command changes where it shows in the plan view. So here's the trouble area. You've made some breaks there in an attempt to fix that, and that's fine. I'm going to excuse me, pull this over a little bit more. Should see the change show up. Yeah, right there. My cursor's not showing. There, right there. That's what I just did. I think this edge should overhang this edge in terms of the way you build such things. I'm going to get rid of this little break here. Now left click and drag on it just to get rid of the line I didn't quite hold my mouth right. Waiting for that to there. That square snap indicator shows that I'm on a corner. And I'm going to take this edge, that edge, and parallel it, perpendicular it up to this wall, so it's at a 90-degree angle. Yeah, like that. And I'm going to just drag this down until it comes to this edge right here. That's how this would be built. This roof would overhang this roof is all I'm doing here. And this part of this is just, you know, I'm nitpicking a little bit, and I hope you can appreciate that. But it also helps me locate exactly where that wall is that's missing. Okay, a little bit more. I need that gutter on that edge to kind of disappear. I'm going to pull it down a few more inches. Okay, that looks nice. That's how it would be built in the field, probably. So we need a wall. There's a wall under here, right here, but for some reason it's not showing up. Then this side wall here, that's this one. Let's see if that's an attic wall. Yeah, it's an attic. See, the software is telling me that I selected an automatically generated wall as if, you know, I don't have permission or something. It's just software. It's just a machine that reacts to stimuli. This doesn't mean a thing other than I did what I did. So I'm going to tell the software to not bother me with that again during this session. And if you delete automatically generated walls, and I assume this is an automatically generated, yep, it is. If you delete them, the software probably, let's delete it and see what happens. Nothing. The software puts it right back. And it's goobering up our look here. I'm not sure if it's useful on the inside or not, but for now, I'm going to make it invisible. That thing right there ought to disappear. Okay, now it's disappeared. See, the software is, I repeat, is just a machine. It's a bundle of routines, and then if this is true, then that's probably true. And that's all as far as the intelligence goes. Past that, you have to apply your own judgment in terms of, like that wall there, the software put it there. I don't want it there, so I got rid of it by making it invisible. Now, why have we got one material over here and a different material over here? That's probably because of this roof edge right here. I'm going to jerk it back just a little bit and see if that doesn't clear that up. I'm going to hit F12 to rebuild walls, floors, and ceilings. There's something else going on with this wall. I'm not quite sure, but this is the one I'm concerned with right now. And it should be, let's see, it's a little bit hard to tell from this angle. I'm going to click on this screen to make it the active screen and use the camera, see if I can't tilt it around where I can actually see what's going on here. Okay, there's an attic wall. I bet that's this attic wall. I don't know why it's not showing siding, because it is a siding wall. Okay, you painted it with something. Okay, again, I'm going to take it back to, I'm just trying to put some order into chaos here. I want it to show its default material. Okay, there it is. Yeah, okay. This is just a matter of figuring out what's what. Now, what kind of wall is this? I'm going to just click on it and open the wall polyline to see what the name of the wall is. Wall types. Okay, siding thin. Okay, so you impressed a different material via the materials tab on this default wall. The smarter thing to do, if you want this material on the outside, let me show you how to do that. I'm just going to go back to wall types, siding thin, define, click here, and take off this default material, which is probably an out-of-the-box adjudication. We'll go to plan materials and find that material that's been showing up. See, I clicked on the plan material, and it was that, I think, wasn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to set that as the default material for this siding. So when I click OK, and I'm going to hit F12 to help the software update itself. Then, okay, apparently I can't tell if you wanted this siding or not, but I'm going to click here and open this one up, see if it's the same wall type. Siding thin. Okay. Sometimes the software is a little slow-witted in catching up with commands. That should be showing not lines, but it is showing lines. Let me see if that's not impressed on the Material tab. See, the Material tab, yeah, that's it. Again, I'm going to go to the Use Default. It might take a little while to straighten the materials out, and a lot of new, don't feel bad, and a lot of new users do this sort of thing, and it just takes a while to figure out the conventions that are designed into the software. Yeah, see, that's got another material assigned to it. Now, I can go back here, Use Default, and it'll go to that, that stuff, whatever that is. So this is not a tutorial on that, but if you want to get all the materials the same, the ideal scene is to set your defaults before you start drawing walls, but after the fact, you're learning and so forth. You can see I'm doing the same thing over and over again. I'm going to go up to the top, Use Default, okay. Okay, I'm not going to do any more walls. That's just kind of to demonstrate how you can get the program doing what you want it to do. Now this corner looks okay now. Let's look at the other kind of getting off point here. I'm not going to handle that right now because it's always a good idea to stay on the problem you're solving and don't create. It's easy to get scattered. Okay, there's a couple of problems here. So we got this roof overhang here coming in here, and apparently that's this wall here, the one I just clicked on, is this corner wall right here. See, the corner comes in that way. And this actually needs to build all the way. Oh, I see. Let me just draw over that wall. I'm going to drag this one through and let it connect up over here. Okay, that's beginning to look a little bit better. And then we'll want a 90-degree angle here. But that's being prevented by the roof, this roof plane. I'm going to go over to the plan view screen. This is going to take me a little bit longer than I originally thought. And we got this roof plane here overhanging this way. And by the same token, this one's kind of got to fit around. I'm going to put a break right there at the outside edge and pull it in over. Okay, it's already looking better. You see that? See, once I set the conditions up, now the overhang needs to be a little bit more. I don't know what the overhang, what do you got set? What is that? Oh, brother, millimeters. I haven't a clue what that, I'm going to set it 360. Okay. I'm going to set this overhang. You can fix this when you get the plan back. I'm going to set that to 360. I'm a Yank, and I can't think like most of the rest of the people in the world about proper measurements. Now we got the wrong material here, but at least we have a wall showing. Let me click on this screen and make it the active one. I'm just going to bypass that garbage pail of stuff and just again, I'm going to go over here. Okay, it should be showing that material. Maybe the wall types. No, it says siding thin. Well, let me look at the other interior. No. Okay. I don't know why it's still showing the lines. Maybe it'll... And this line here, I wouldn't worry about it because I think this wall, let me see what it is. It's a, yeah, it's an automatically generated wall. I think that's this one. I believe that's that wall. And it's appearing now because, well, we'll just cheat a little bit. Where's, I'll click on this screen, we'll use the eyedropper. I don't recommend using the eyedropper, but I don't want to make the video into an epic long thing. Again, I'm going to leave this overhang, these values to you. You might be interested as to why you click on this edge and you don't get a dimension to the edge, whereas over here you do. The reason for that is One of the attributes of an automatically generated wall is no locate. You open it up and uncheck no locate, and then when I click on the roof edge, I should get an automatic, well, I should, but I'm not. Damn software. I'm just going to draw there we go. I'm going to set that to 360. You can set it to whatever you want once you get it back. But part of your job, once you get everything straightened out, is to straighten out all these dimensions so that they make sense and the overhang makes sense. But you see what I did there? I made it okay for the wall to be there, and then the wall put itself there all on its own. I'm going to go back to the camera view screen here, zoom back, and I think in a texture view, yeah, that corner's not so unsightly. Well, it's a little unsightly. Why is that? Let's see. Let me see if I can fix that. That's that wall, and this. Okay, that's probably this wall that's goobering that up. I'm going to put a tiny little wall break right there. Well, not taking. There we go. This little chunk here I'm going to make invisible and see if that doesn't clean that up. We'll just see if it does. I'm going to hit F12 to update things. Okay, that didn't change this condition over here in the corner. Where's my cursor? There it is. Didn't change. I'm trying to fix this, so that must not be it. I'm going to delete that. Sometimes interfering attic walls will cause little anomalies like that. I think maybe it's this wall. See, I went up a floor. I'm in the attic now. I'm going to pull this wall back. I think it's underneath the roof. See if that doesn't clean that up. Let me hit F12. I think that's out of alignment too. That attic wall is out of alignment with the wall below. Well, I'm swinging, but I'm not hitting anything. My apologies. So what's wrong with this? Let me look at the wall dialog on this. Okay, that's an attic wall. And this ought to be an attic wall. It is an attic wall, and it's when I unlocated. That's when I did before. We're just getting a lousy corner here. Why are we getting a lousy corner? I'm in the attic here, because they're both attic walls. And I tried that. That didn't. Oh, I bet it's right here. Okay. I'm going to try putting a wall break here. And just so we get a corner going there. It's a little complicated for the software because we got corners on top of corners. I'm going to break it again and make this little chunk. This is what I'm going to make, this little chunk here as soon as I can break it off. I'm clicking the wall break and nothing's happening. There we go. I'm going to take this little chunk of it and make it invisible. Well, this turned out to be quite a bit more complicated than I originally thought. Let me hit F12, see if that cleans that up. No, I'm just swinging and missing here, striking out. I just jerked on that wall polyline. I'm trying to get a decent corner going here. Sometimes just messing with something, insisting that it works. Well, shoot. See, by making this little chunk here invisible, might have created a problem down here below. Let's check that out and see. Nah, this screen dummy. I'm the dummy in that sentence. Yeah, dad blast it. Let me click on that. Huh. I'm clicking on that and then hitting the tab key to get the wall polyline. I created a hole, but I don't think what I did created that hole. You zoom back in over here. See, there's the hole. That's one little piece of wall, but when I click here, I'm getting a much larger wall. So that's not. Maybe this edge is in. This roof edge is in a little bit too much. I'm going to pull it away a little bit. See if the wall didn't jump back up there. Nope. Well, isn't that interesting? I'm going to delete that invisible wall. Okay, that seemed to be my fix, quote unquote, was actually causing another problem. I'm going to delete that again. Just draw, well, that's strange. Not quite. Oh, that edge is coming in a little close. I'll pull it back. Okay. All right. See, as I pull this edge back, it allows that attic wall to build on out. See, like that? This particular kind of design is just a little bit hard for the software to handle, but it's not impossible. I've done these before. And see this wall polyline's coming from below. I'm going to try just jerking the polyline down below the roof line, see what that does. Okay, that kind of sort of helped. But again, we're getting one of those goofy, unsightly corners. There's a wall here, but it appears to be a different material. What is the material? Well, that should be the right material. What's the wall type? Siding thin. You see, I'm going to left click here and I'm going to just draw over that wall and see what happens. Ah, okay. That worked. Why did it work? Because I kept fiddling with it. A lot of new users don't understand that a lot of this software is just you keep fiddling with it carefully after you've studied and you kind of know what you're doing, and you'll eventually get the look that you want. And that's the look that I wanted, and I'm sorry if that's not more clear, but I clicked on that wall polyline, and it was part of a larger wall over there, and pulled it over, and then the software kind of then responded with the right effect. The important thing, I think, from what I just did there, although it may seem mysterious, is that I just kept insisting that I get what I wanted. And that may seem somewhat mystical to some of you guys, but okay. Now, even this looks a little bit better. We got the wrong material over here. I'm going to pull this back away from the wall. Whoops, a little bit, just a little bit. See if that makes a difference. See, I could use the eyedropper, but you can see that this wall polylines are going down into the house, and you might have to adjust these wall polylines inside for your inside look. Well, let's take a look at that. I'm going to put this camera down. I think if I do a cross-section camera, yeah, right across here, I'll see what I want to look at. Now, I use a back clip, and it's not, maybe I should just use a cross-section camera. Back clip has a bracketed area that it looks at. I want the vector camera view of it. Okay, now I can see that more clearly. See, this is what I meant by wall polylines inside. You got siding on the inside. I don't know if I doubt that you want siding on the inside, but I was just seeing a material difference here. One wall to the other. I'm just going to fix the outside. I'm going to go to the Materials tab and see if there's been some override on it. No. What's this wall? Okay, they say that they're showing the same materials, but obviously in the camera view you can tell they're different. I'm going to use the Adjust Materials tool to see what this a plasterboard showing there, and the right material showing here and here. Now these error messages, I'm just going to skip them. I don't care what they say. It's not germane to what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just going to skip this garbage pail of stuff and just get those materials to match. It's not taking. you saw what I saw. For some reason, some of these plans that you got new users make just get messed up. I'm not. The plans contain so many errors and so many wrong guesses. Well, that's weird. Okay, I'm going to try just reversing the materials right here. This icon here, reverse layers. See if that fixes, unquote, that. Come on. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to get this straightened out. Now let's take a wider look. I'm going to quit worrying about the materials because obviously you've got that a little bit confused, and there's no reason for me to guess as to what you intended. I showed you how to fix that stuff. I'm going to go back to the let's see, I want to go over here to this camera view that I minimized. Here we go. Okay. That's just not looking right. Bothers my aesthetic sense. Well, okay, you didn't ask me about materials, and you've got materials pretty messed up. Not a crime. It's part of being a new user. Anyway, I got the stinking wall fixed. Let's see what we're looking okay over here in terms of just there-ness of walls. Okay, we got one missing here. I saw it, and that's probably because, see, I put this over here. Let me just jerk this over and see what happens. Okay, that might be the wall I need right there. I'm going to hit Control Z to put that back where it was, and then we'll take a look at it over here in Plan View. So I think that would be this corner right here. Yeah, I think so. Okay, so here's the jog I put in that roof plane so that it would appear right over here. And this roof plane needs to overhang over here, starting about there. So I'm going to guess, put me a wall break, I mean a line break. It's not a line, not a wall break. And get that overhang condition. You ought to see this. Yeah, that, okay. That started to fix the whole thing. Now you can see that the edge here needs to go back down. It'll probably, I don't know, if I was smart, maybe I could do a mathematical computation, but I'm just going to drag it and then see where it stops. A little bit more. I'm not going to worry about the roof overhang right now because I'm going to let you fix that when you get the file back. Okay, that looks pretty decent. Now I can't really tell in this camera view what's what. So I'm going to go to the vector view camera. Okay, there's a wall there. It's that wall. The problem is on this side of the house, let me move back a little bit. On this side of the house it needs to be the outside layer, and on this side of the house it needs to be the outside layer. But they're facing two different ways. So I really need to split this wall into two different parts. And I think that's this wall here. I'm going to use the wall break tool and split it right about where the roof plane is into two different walls, and then this wall I'm going to flip the layers on it. I'm not concerned with this out of alignment thing with walls below because sometimes you don't intend for the walls to align. I'm going to flip the layers. Also, I need to see what kind of wall it is. Maybe it doesn't have, no, it's supposed to be a siding wall. And you haven't messed with, you haven't overridden the default material settings. So if the layers are not showing up, it's probably this roof plane here is coming in too close against it. Let's take a look. I'm going to zoom in really close to see where that roof edge, well, it's right on it, which ought to be all right, but I'm going to move that edge away from the wall just a little bit. Nah, that didn't help. Okay. See, I broke that wall off right there. Huh. And flip the layers again, see if I can, okay. When I flipped the layers, it melded back in with the rest of the wall back there. Let me just select that and we'll flip around. You'll see that that wall here is actually this wall here over here. See, it's the same wall. We need, anyway, I got it to appear, but you know, on one side the outside should face this way, and on this side it should face that way. So it really needs to be two walls. You understand? I hope. I'm going to use that wall break tool again. Oh, I hit it a second time. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that extra break. I was still in wall break mode when I was trying to select the wall. There we go. Flip the layers. Now why it's not working, I'm not quite sure. We'll go back to this camera and see if we can wrap this video up. I'm going to just click here on this, hit the tab key to get the wall polyline and drag it up under the roof above. Okay, that looks a little bit better. See what wall type this is. See, it says this, but it's still showing that all material. It's probably, yeah, okay. I said I wasn't going to do this, and I lied. I'm going to do one other thing. I think part of the problem is that the default is not this material here. Let me see what it is. Get that name again. Okay, I'm just going to copy that name so I remember it. SW6164. Okay, I'm going to go over here to Edit Default Settings, Materials, and Walls Exterior. And then see, there's that where that tan stuff keeps coming from. I'm going to set it to this, yeah, that. I think that's part of where that was coming from. I mentioned time after time in my posts at Home Talk that setting default is important, and this is another reason why. And you can see it's, I'm going to hit F12. Okay, it's still set on this wall for some reason. It must be just impressed upon it. Yep. But that's what comes from using the software without knowing how to use it. You get all kinds of odd behavior, and then blame it on the software when it's actually you. And don't take this too hard. But it's actually the new end user who is causing all the problems because he or she is using the program in a way that it wasn't designed to be used, and he or she hasn't bothered to find out how to actually use it. And then, but what galls me is that then they'll blame it on the software, and that's so irresponsible and so wrong. But the software just does what it's told, and if you tell it a bunch of confusing stuff, then the plan gets confused, and after a while, nobody can figure it out. I've in my 18, 19 years of doing this, I've only found a plan or two that I couldn't straighten out. It was just so ruined that nobody could figure it out because it was just too far gone. Okay, I'm going to quit messing with the materials. We got the walls to appear, which was our main target. You can see it was from editing roof planes and working with attic walls and wall polylines to just get them to appear. These other materials issues, you've seen me handle some of those, and this plan, at least in its defaults of the default exterior material, is now straightened out. The rest of these ought to be a matter of just hitting a wall, hitting the tab key, and then yeah, see there, that material's still there. And since I set the default, when I say use default, then it goes to the default that I set. And it puts a lot more order into things. Well, I hope this helps you. I'm sorry it took a little bit longer than I thought, but you know, I'm a smart aleck and Mr. Know-It-All, and so sometimes I get my comeuppance just like anyone else. But I hope this helps you, and I hope it helps other people using this software. I get a lot of joy and fun from using this, and also helping people to use it. And I hope you do too. Thank you.